One morning, the pumps go dry. Every last drop of oil on Earth has finally been burned away. Gas stations become ghost towns overnight, their prices frozen like museum exhibits of a fossil-fueled past. You walk outside, reach for your car keys, then remember your car is now a 2-ton paperweight. Planes are grounded, not from storms, but because their tanks whisper back, "Sorry, I'm all out." Imagine airports turning into sprawling flea markets, selling overpriced instant noodles and useless luggage trolleys. You're stuck in the city watching pigeons travel faster than Amazon's next-day drone delivery. Within hours, traffic disappears, not because it flows, but because nothing moves anymore. No honking, no engines, just the eerie soundtrack of flip-flops, bicycles, and collective panic. You pedal a rusty bike past a Tesla, realizing both are equally useless without electricity or spare parts. Electric cars need oil too, for tires, plastics, and even the roads they drive on. It's like trying to bake a cake without eggs, flour, or a kitchen. Good luck, Chef Elon. You realize renewable energy isn't just a plug-and-play swap. It's a full lifestyle reboot. Farmers panic as tractors sit idle, rusting under the sun like stranded whales. Without diesel, crop yields drop, and suddenly your avocado toast costs more than your rent. You wonder if anyone remembered how to plow a field without Google or John Deere. Food prices skyrocket, and so does your anxiety every time you pass a grocery store. That plastic-wrapped chicken? It's now a luxury item like caviar, but with more salmonella risk. You hold a Snickers bar like it's a sacred relic from the age of petroleum. Supply chains break faster than your Wi-Fi on a rainy day. No trucks, no ships, no containers, just warehouses full of stuff going nowhere. You realize globalization was built on oil, and now the world feels more local than ever. Clothing racks stay empty because polyester is basically fashion's way of wearing liquefied dinosaur bones. Suddenly, grandma's itchy wool sweaters are haute couture. Itchy, yes, but locally sourced and flammable. You ask yourself, how many outfits can one make from hemp, banana fiber, or recycled curtains? Petroleum jelly, toothbrushes, eyeglasses, aspirin, detergent, all quietly vanish like magician's tricks. Turns out oil isn't just fuel, it's the secret sauce in thousands of daily conveniences. You look at your shampoo bottle like it's a rare artifact from a lost civilization. Hospitals feel it too. No plastic gloves, syringes, or IV tubing. Doctors resort to metal tools, linen wraps, and vibes. Surgery becomes part improv, part medieval reenactment. You wonder if Band-Aids will make a comeback, or if duct tape becomes the new medical standard. Petrochemicals vanish from cosmetics, and suddenly beauty becomes a rustic affair. Makeup tutorials feature beetroot juice, coal dust, and sheer desperation. Your mirror doesn't lie. It just laughs at your attempt to contour with crushed berries. Air conditioning shuts down, making summer feel like an annual near-death experience. You consider moving underground or befriending someone with a cave. Personal fans become a black market item, traded like ancient coins. Mass transit runs on fumes, literally. Subways stall, buses crawl, and everyone becomes part-time marathoners. Forget Uber. You're now bartering with bicycle couriers like they're oil-age nobility. You beg your smartwatch to count walking as cardio, therapy, and transportation simultaneously. Governments scramble to ration the last reserves, but hoarders already have barrels buried in backyards. Somewhere, a YouTuber is building an oil-powered throne room guarded by retired NASCAR drivers. The new rich? Anyone with a jerry can and a conscience slightly more intact than a movie villain's? Geopolitics flip. Nations that once exported oil now trade wisdom on goat herding and solar cookers. The Middle East pivots to tourism and dates. The fruit, not the Tinder kind. Texas becomes a tech hub or a desert-themed amusement park, depending on your optimism. Militaries stall. Tanks without fuel are just very expensive lawn ornaments. Global conflicts pause, not out of peace, but because nobody can afford to show up. You wonder if the next world war will be fought on bicycles and sponsored by protein bars. In cities, people panic buy candles, generators, and horse saddles. Cowboys make a comeback, minus the romanticism, plus blisters and saddle chafing. You buy a horse, name it Diesel, and cry when you realize it also needs food. Shipping collapses, your online shopping cart remains full, permanently. Expected delivery? Never. You grieve your lost air fryer like it was a dear relative. The ocean fills with floating cargo, orphaned forever by the gods of combustion. The job market transforms overnight. Petroleum engineers become candle makers. TikTok influencers pivot to goat milking tutorials and barter economy hacks. You wonder if LinkedIn has a category for expert in oil-free survival. Amusement parks shut down, replaced by community gardens and angry teenagers. Roller coasters rust. Corn mazes become high-risk entertainment. Someone tries to invent an oil-free Ferris wheel. it explodes into compostable confetti. New industries rise, algae farms, vertical gardening, wind-powered scooters. The next Steve Jobs might invent edible packaging or solar-charged flip-flops. You realize innovation isn't dead. It's just sweating profusely while pushing a solar cart uphill. Children ask what gasoline was like it's a fairy tale villain. You tell them it made cars go fast and the planet melt, like if fire had an investment portfolio. They blink, then return to their solar tablet made of bamboo, hope, and duct tape. Museums showcase old oil barrels like dinosaur bones. Here lies the source of both progress and planetary heartburn, says the plaque. A child asks, why didn't they switch earlier? The silence is deafening. Decades pass. Oil becomes a myth, something old people talk about like cassette tapes and dial-up internet. You kids don't know struggle, they say. We used to pump dinosaur juice just to toast bread. A generation grows up thinking gas station was a place to buy ancient relics and beef jerky. Historians argue whether crude oil was a gift or a curse, like finding a genie with mood swings. Science pivots hard, not toward convenience but survival. Engineers become the new rock stars, except their concerts involve algae, ammonia, and solar-powered sludge machines. You attend a TED Talk titled How to Build a Rocket Using Goat Poop and Wind Turbines. Oil empires fall, innovation empires rise, powered by the sun, wind, and sheer human stubbornness. Suddenly, every rooftop becomes a mini power plant, every window a solar collector. You lie in bed knowing your house is absorbing starlight like a sleepy sunflower with Wi-Fi. Cities redesigned from the ground up, walkable, breathable, slower but smarter. No more highway soundtracks, just footsteps, conversations, and occasional goat traffic jams. You jog past a kinetic sidewalk that powers streetlights with your footsteps. Welcome to cardio capitalism. Ocean shipping is replaced by blimp caravans and autonomous windsurfing drones. You see a kite pull a cargo crate across the Pacific and whisper, please don't crash.
Please don't crash.
Fertilizer becomes a luxury. Poop becomes a currency. Yes, we're now rich in the weirdest possible way. You trade compost with neighbors the way people once traded stocks, nervously, and while pretending to know things. 3D printing becomes essential, using recycled trash and biodegradable goo. You design shoes from seaweed in your neighbor's failed sourdough starter. They smell weird, but grip well. Entire industries emerge from the ashes. Slow fashion, hyper-local cuisine, urban farming on parking lots. Bored teens now grow mushrooms in vending machines and sell tofu on blockchain marketplaces. You eat a cricket burger and say it tastes like chicken. You're lying, but also starving. Old suburbs transform into farming communes.
Speed improves with
salad
kale
bar,
yield.
part Wi-Fi hotspot. Kids learn to program and plant at the same time. Code tomatoes, debug cucumbers. You realize that survival now means being part nerd, part gardener, part motivational speaker. Some people retreat to the woods, forming nature cults with names like the Compost Collective. Others go full steampunk. Steam-powered bicycles, goggles, and unironically quoting Jules Verne. A rogue billionaire builds an oil-powered time machine just to scream "told you so" into the 1970s. Museums update their exhibits. The fossil fuel age, 1859, are bad. There's a life-size replica of a Hummer labeled Species Overcompensatus. Kids laugh at the idea of burning soup-thick liquid just to go get milk. Schools teach petroleum history alongside Intro to Solar Foraging. Your child asks what Exxon was. You respond, a cautionary tale with a very good logo. Religion adapts. A new eco-faith emerges, the Church of Perpetual Power. Services held at noon for maximum sunlight. Their holy book is a solar panel manual and a warning label from a lithium battery. Strangely, air quality improves, asthma disappears, and skies turn blue. Like really poetically blue. You realize the stars are actually visible now, not just metaphorical corporate ones. Rivers flow clearer. Fish return. Nature reboots herself like a frustrated programmer hitting Ctrl+Alt+Delete on the Anthropocene. Weird upside, fewer oil spills, but way more bicycle-related wrist injuries. A black market oil cartel rises, the slick underground. They sell lube, plastic spoons, and shampoo in alleyways. You whisper, conditioner, like it's a magic spell, and the dealer nods solemnly. Governments outlaw hoarding oil, but there's always someone fermenting plastic in a bathtub. The oil addicts? They're in withdrawal, sniffing car fresheners and rewatching Fast and Furious like documentaries. One town reopens their fossil museum, but this time the fossils are SUVs. Someone makes a romantic drama called Love in the Time of Lithium. It wins awards. Pop culture shifts. Heroes ride windboards. Villains try to smuggle Ziploc bags. The hottest Halloween costume, a 20th century commuter, suit tie, briefcase, and imaginary steering wheel. Poets romanticize firewood. Influencers live stream goat milking. Economists write essays titled Post-Petroleum Hugs Per Dollar. You hear a kid say, I wish I lived when people still had oil. You don't know whether to laugh, cry, or hand them a compostable tissue. Some cities thrive, others collapse. Everyone adapts in their own chaotic, brilliant, very human way. Oil is gone, but not forgotten. Its legacy etched in smog layers and plastic oceans. And yet, somehow, the world doesn't end. It just rewrites its to-do list. We become a species less obsessed with speed, more in love with balance. Less noise, more conversation. Less burning, more building. But the question still echoes, what took us so long to change? And what if the next thing we run out of is time?